Yeah, so I was just looking at this basically, and to me, I said this in my other video, all these people to me look like brown-skinned people with tans, okay? Like before and afters of tanning one's skin tone. I had this one right here. Just a lot of these people to me look like brown skins with tans, and then their natural color looks like their lighter hue. Apparently, with skin bleaching, they can't really do much with skin bleaching. They can't really get that much lighter than themselves. And this explains a lot of my personal experience with dark-skinned people, kind of, to some extent. Some of the things that I've heard them say is the things they're thinking about their own skin tone. I always had the idea of it. I just always was like, who the fuck really goes through that kind of thing just to be a brown complexion, Like this lady right here would be exactly a good example of myself when I am at my darkest hue in the summertime on the left side in the before photo, and on the right side, that's what my complexion is naturally, unexposed from the sun. Many of these people, this one right here specifically, was talking about her foundation colors. And they're specifically what she bleaches as, and what she maintains her skin tone as, is literally the complexion that I am naturally, without sun exposure, like NC42, NC44. Those are my two shades, So it's just kind of like odd, that these people, would really go through this much trouble, basically, in my opinion. Sorry about that. No, not this one. I didn't want to show this one. I actually wanted to show another video of hers, specifically explaining this, basically, the whole situation where they can't really they can't really bleach their skin, really. They just are attempting to get as light as they can, basically. So this was the video, actually, where she is actually talking about it, and it's just interesting to me. She talks about the Fitzpatrick skin type scale, and she talks about how she says basically people who skin bleach can't.
Meet the first ever Google phone with the best camera on it.
Oh, commercial. But anyway, she was basically trying to say here, this is the title of it, how to go from dark to medium skin tone, And I just never knew anyone dark-skinned was really trying to bleach to be brown-skinned, to be a medium skin tone. Like, who bleaches to be a medium skin tone? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand. What are you expecting to gain from being medium skin tone? People are still going to view you as black. I thought you guys didn't want to be black because you felt like you were trying to avoid racism, maybe? But, you're still going to experience the same racism. White people don't even know the difference between medium and dark complexions. Many times they don't even know the difference with light skin and dark skin. See, the reason you can know this is because many times white people will confuse black people irrespective of whatever complexion they are. You could be light skin, you could be dark skin. You'll be confused for, each other.
In this video, I am going to tell you how you can start your skin lightening journey to go from dark to medium skin tone. Okay, so like I said, this is a highly requested video. How to start your skin lightening journey if you want to go from dark skin to medium skin tone. So the first thing you should do before you even get on this journey is decide that if this is something that you want to actually do. And also you should evaluate the reasons why you want to do it. If you're doing this for the wrong reason because you hate yourself or you want to get a man or whatever, then I'm not the one for you, and I wouldn't recommend that you do something like that. You do this because
I don't get these people. What other reason are you doing it if it's not because you hate yourself or, to attract people or whatever? Because you feel ugly because you think dark skin is ugly or whatever, which is just sick because dark skin is beautiful. But I mean, like, what other reason is one trying to change their skin tone? You know. But anyway, continue. Sorry, I'm not even trying to get into
this
the
is something
ethics.
that you want to do for yourself. Okay? The second thing you should do is do some research. Alright, so make sure you do your research before you get on this journey. And yeah, good luck with everything. But anyways, so having said all that, another thing that you have to consider is if your goals are realistic. Having a realistic goal means that there is not a lot of pressure for you on your journey, basically, meaning that it's not going to be like a huge struggle for you. For example, if you are very dark skinned and you want to go like really, really light skin, that might be very difficult to do, especially if you are doing it with creams and supplements. I know like these Nigerian African celebrities, they lighten their skin and it looks amazing. But in reality, on many cases when you meet these people in person, they don't really look like how they look in their photos and their videos. So remember to have realistic goals and just don't be hard on yourself. Now, what I want to mention before I get into this is the Fitzpatrick scale. So I'm going to put a picture up there and you can see that, right, so yeah, back to the Fitzpatrick scale. I'm looking at the Fitzpatrick scale right now and there are 6 different skin types on the Fitzpatrick scale. And where I started at skin type 5, and I am now I'm now between skin type 4 and 3. However, if you are starting off at skin type 6 and 5, and those are the people that I'm talking to right now, you've got to be realistic with your goals. So, alright, so from me starting at skin type 5 and getting to skin type 4 and even 3, in my opinion, that's a realistic goal to me. But if I'm trying to get to skin type 2 and skin type 1, then my goals are definitely unrealistic. And even if I somehow manage to get there, it's going to be very difficult for me to maintain that results. So I'm happy being a skin type 4 because I think when I look at the picture right now, I think I'm more a skin type 4, definitely, because I don't think I'm a skin type 3. I'm definitely a skin type 4. So if you are starting at skin type 6, a realistic goal is skin type 5. If you're starting at skin type 5, a realistic goal is skin type 4. If you're starting at skin type 4, a realistic goal is skin type 3, and so on. So obviously you can see there is a huge jump in shades between every skin type. So
Okay, so that's all I really need to hear from her. As far as this whole situation, I do not get it. So this is why many of the time I would say people who skin bleach, they look dark before and they look dark after. And I get it. Look at it. She just said that skin type 5 can go to skin type 4, right? That's generally the majority of black people are skin type 5. This is why generally when I see bleachers, it seems like they go down to the caramel hue and can't get down any further. This lady specifically, I should have let her speak a little longer, but I don't really feel like it. She specifically says that she bleached for 7 years to get to a skin type 4. So she went from a regular black person's dark skin to caramel brown skin in 7 years. You really think your results are working at this point? You really think it's worth it? Why is it worth it? It's not doing anything for you. What's the difference? That's what I don't get. Why are you doing this? Like, why can't you just find some self-love instead of trying your hardest to try and get away from yourself as much as possible when you still aren't even light skinned after all this? You've been risking your life just to not be dark skinned. And you're still not light skinned. This just looks like so shameful. And then also the fact that the lady really wanted to be, a skin type 3 when she's clearly a skin type 4, you know. And I think if that's another thing, they might try to delude themselves into thinking they're lighter than what they are in hopes that they can feel like they've accomplished something. Because if they really realize what they've done, they realize they just basically accepted the fact that they hate themselves and they still haven't been any closer to getting away from their dark skin, or at least getting away from brown skin, And like I said, with the dark skin people, skin type 6, what does that mean? It means skin type 6. When they bleach, they're skin type 5. This is why for me, I always say that when dark skinned people talk about bleaching their skin, I don't even understand what was the difference. To me, it's like, why'd you even do that? You're just a little suicidal, really, honestly. You wanted to risk your life, make yourself more likely to die, and nobody even noticed that you even lightened your skin after all of that. Nobody, when I look at her, I still see brown skin. She might not be dark skin, but she still isn't even light skin. She doesn't look non-black, not even anywhere closer to looking non-black. What is the point of risking your life to do this type of stuff? It's just like these people really need therapy and help, because it's like, why can't you at least, see that taking yourself down a road of self-hate has done nothing for you. You haven't looked less black. You haven't been able to fool anyone into thinking you're not black. You haven't been able to, in many cases, for the dark skinned people and skin type 6, they can't even not be dark. They have to be dark, because they will bleach themselves to skin type 5, which is dark still. Just a different kind of dark skin. I don't even notice the difference between skin type 5 and 6, honestly, from my perspective. And that's just what's so weird about this situation. Added to it, I feel like I understand many of these people might be dark-skinned people who are bleaching, but how is anyone to know? Like, literally, I don't think that all these people are really dark-skinned people bleaching. I think some of these people are really taking advantage of other people, because you could sell anyone any product and tell them that their skin is going to bleach. When it doesn't work for them, what? We'll just say that their skin tone is not partial to those type of materials and that and products in that cream, and it's not working for them. Their skin lightening cream isn't working for them. That's just an individual problem, But you basically get clean off of just saying that, I bleach my skin from a darker hue. But then, there's plenty of people who literally